welcome the Belgian representatives for the Eurovision Song Contest. The group is called Hooverphonic, and I have all three of them here, live from Antwerp in Belgium. It's Geike, Raymond, and Alex. Hello,
Hi.
how are you doing?
Hello. Fine.
So last year we really had a big problem with the corona pandemic. So you have been selected by your country to go to Eurovision. How was the situation when you heard it was cancelled?
It was, of course, it was sad, but at the same time we saw it coming, and we realized that when they're canceling football because football got canceled the day before, and then Eurovision got canceled, it just kind of showed us how serious the situation with COVID was. So, you know, like we knew that they wouldn't cancel it for fun, you know. If they cancel it, there is like a serious reason. So first thing you think is, oh, it's a pity. But the second thing we thought was like, oh, this is gonna be hell for the whole music industry. Like, you know, like if there's no gigs, no concerts, no touring, a lot of people, you know, these days live from live performances. And when we started in '96, you know, like record sales were actually the main thing. You toured, you played gigs just to make, you know, to promote your album, and your album was actually your income. But nowadays, everybody knows actually playing live is income for our business, you know, like for all our colleagues, musicians, for our crew. So we were just very worried, you know, when we heard that it got canceled, because that meant that probably the whole year would get canceled and all gigs would get canceled. And luckily, because we're doing this already a long time, we can survive. But there's a lot of people who are not that kind of lucky. So we were really like, you know, worried for a lot of people in our entourage.
And on the other hand, you have been directly nominated to do this again this year. So I think it's a good opportunity for you. Are you happy? Because not every other participant of last year can go this year.
No, yeah, I've seen that. You know, like I've checked out the other contestants this week, and I've seen there's like a lot of different people. You know, well, also the same. Like I think in Switzerland, the same participant is going, and but in Romania as well. But like Russia is completely different. Iceland is the same. So, but yeah, for us, you know, like the next day after it got canceled, we called with the VRT, you know, Belgian National Television, and we immediately agreed that we would go again. So, so yeah, so we're here again with a different singer, but we're there again.
Yeah, but she's not a new face. Geike has already been one of the founding members of the band, isn't it?
Yep.
Almost, not exactly.
So
yeah, she was like with the band for 11 years, and you know, like she kind of not from the beginning. She joined us in '97. We started in '96. You know, our career actually got launched by a track called "To Wiki," which was actually in a movie, a Bernardo Bertolucci movie, and got really, like, you know, was really very popular in the States and in parts of Europe. So, but then after a year, Geike joined us, and then we started touring together for years, 11 years, I guess, you know, till 2008. And she decided to leave to work on her solo career. We kind of continued, me and Raymond, with the different singers, I have to say. And now she's back, you know, like, and we're very happy that she's back.
So the other singer probably wasn't that happy because she cannot go to Eurovision anymore.
No, that's true, you know. But to be honest, you know, like there's something there's a strong connection between the three of us, you know. And so we didn't work together for like 11 years because we needed space, I think. But when we found out that the three of us wanted to work together again, it was actually, you know, like it's just
no-brainer. Yeah, it's totally clear.
it was just, yeah, it was very clear that we had to do it, and not only for ourselves, you know, like, but also the fans were already a long time, like, you know, waiting for that to happen. So, but you know, part of that, you know, like, I think it's also cool that we had like 11 years our own thing, you know, because that makes us now, you know, very energetic and very kind of, we're very kind of happy to work together again. So it's kind of like, yeah, as if the band is reborn or something.
In the preparation, of course, for last year, I already watched your videos from the years before, and I really liked the style of your song, especially from Baba Doom. I really like that one. It's a really cool rhythm, and I like the orchestral part. Mad About You was really cool with the orchestra and the Königin Elisabethsaal in Antwerp.
Yeah.
The recording is really stunning, and I must say this. How would you describe your music style? Is it?
That's a difficult question. That was always our biggest problem. I still remember, you know, like we were signed a long time at Sony Music, and the guys from Sony America always said, like, man, what kind of style is it? And we're like, well, we're just making music, you know, music we like, you know. It's like very difficult to pinpoint this. But of course, we were living in an era where everything needs to be, you know, like, you know, labeled, you know, everything needs a label, you know. Radio is like, you know, we have like formatted radio and formatted. So it's, sometimes our music is like psychedelic, sometimes it's very pop, sometimes it's very filmic and orchestral. I think the only kind of connection is film music, soundtracks, you know. I think our music is always a sort of a soundtrack to a movie that doesn't exist. And sometimes it's like a rom-com, and sometimes it's a James Bond movie, and sometimes it's a very dark kind of like, you know, if you could say like sometimes it's Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and then the next time it's like Casino Royale, yeah. And then the next album could be some kind of like Dennis Hopper movie in the 60s or something.
The strange thing is that it's always very recognizably Hooverphonic, I do believe.
Yeah, it's like, you know, you can recognize it quite easily. It's like, and there's also something magical between Geke's voice and our music, you know. It's like, it really works well together. It's
so I would say
we like all kinds of music, and we're very kind of like, you know, we're very eclectic, and I think our music is eclectic as well. Sometimes, you know, on our last album you had like a James Bond track and a Nile Rodgers track, and then you had like, you know, more like you know, poppy dance tune, and it's all on one album, you know. We're a very Belgian band, you know, very eclectic and sometimes a little surreal.
Yeah, I think with this attitude, you will be perfect to go to Eurovision, because there's a lot of music styles there, from hard rock this year to really old-fashioned ballads, and I think you cannot put it in one box, as you said.
That's why I'm a fan of the festival. You know, it's like it's always, you know, like it's a mix of camp and really cool, of sometimes intimate and then very grotesque, you know, like sometimes it's very big and then it's very small, and it's like, you know, all these different kind of colors. Sometimes it's kind of a circus act, which is cool, you know, like nothing wrong with circus, because last year people kind of like, you know, almost killed me for using that word. But sometimes it is like, let's say Australia a couple of years ago was like, it was Cirque du Soleil, you know, like, but it was beautiful, you know. And sometimes like you see Salvador Sobral, just him with his sister on a guitar, and like almost no act, and he wins, you know. Like, that's the beauty about the festival. And the beauty about the festival is that I think, you know, like 75% I say like, oh no, I don't like it, and then suddenly there's something that you say like, oh, but this is cool, you know, this is different, this is, and I like that kind of like, you know, that contrast, you know. I would say that's the reason I think why it's so popular, the festival, because of the contrast between all these styles and all these countries and all these flavors, you know.
In a way, you have to stand out a little bit from the others so that people can remember, and you need to have something special. Do you believe that your song is that special that people will remember, or because I think personally, when I compare your song from this year, The Wrong Place, to last year, Release Me, it's more sophisticated. It's more adult this year. It's just my personal feeling. But will this have enough to stand out of 40 contributions?
We don't know. We don't have a clue. But that's the cool thing, you know. You don't know. We just like this song, and you know, if people would listen to the lyrics, it definitely stands out because it's like a very, very, very un-Eurovision lyric. It's like, you know, it's but it's very Hooverphonic. I think, you know, like the guitar sound, the twangy guitar sound is there, you know, Geke's voice is there, it's emotional, it has a coolness about it, and at the same time it's catchy. It's like a trip hop inspired where we come from, but at the same time it's now 2021. So it is just 100% who we are.
Yeah.
And then the rest is not that important, you know. Like in last year, it was a bit more like a James Bond team, and now it's a bit more like, you know, like an art house movie or something. It's like a bit more of Tim Burton kind of movie. So I don't know, you know, like we'll see. The one thing we learned is that last year, you know, we didn't do well in the you know, with the bookies, we didn't do well, and in the end, in the alternative festival, the public voted the second after Iceland. So one thing we learned about last year is that you can't predict anything. It's just go with the flow, have fun, and we'll see what happens, you know. It's
regarding your video clip, it also has a kind of sarcastic note somehow, but it's in all your video clips like this, a little bit. What I've seen.
Yeah, there's always a darkness in what we do. It always has an edge, you know. Like I think that's because we really come from a very alternative background, you know, and actually still listen. We all listen to alternative music, so we're kind of like, you know, if I like a record that mostly doesn't have a lot of plays on Spotify, that's the pity. The cool thing is that we already make for years. We make music that we really like and that is close to our heart and that we believe in, and at some point, you know, like we do have a lot of plays on Spotify and we do have a strong following, so we're very lucky, I guess, you know, that we can do this already for 25 years, have our following. And but you know, that background, I learned one thing, you know, back in the days, I went to a songwriting kind of like seminar a long time ago in 98, I guess it was, and I learned to know an English songwriter, you know, Kathy Dennis, and she's like, of course, one of the biggest songwriters ever, you know. She wrote like Toxic, and what I learned from her is that whenever I was at her place, you know, her collection, you know, she listened only to alternative music like we do. She listened to Elliott Smith and Laura Nyro and Jason Faulkner and that kind of stuff. But she had something in her writing that was very hooky, and because of that, you know, whenever she writes songs, they cross over. They go really, really, like, you know, a lot of people connect to the songs, left of center, right of center, it doesn't matter, you know, they're crossover. They don't, and it's because she kind of understands both camps very well, you know. And I think it's the same with us, you know. I like alternative music, but I also can like, you know, I also enjoy popular music of today. Not everything, but most of the stuff, you know. Like I like Lana Del Rey and I like Billie Eilish, and I can, you know, like, and I like some dance stuff like Yotto or other stuff. So I think that combination makes that, you know, our song could do well. But like I said before, there's no way to kind of predict anything, you know.
Yes, Eurovision is always a big miracle. Careers can grow like Celine Dion, you know, but also careers can be destroyed. Maybe, I don't know, I don't want to name somebody, but who participated and then probably get a not that good reputation. Do you fear that if your band is connected with Eurovision Song Contest because it has a certain image that it could also harm you in a way? Or
no, I don't think so. You know, The Wrong Place is like a song that we would that would be the next single anyway. If we wouldn't go to the Eurovision Song Contest, that would have been our next single. Like I said, it's not written for the Eurovision Song Contest. I wrote it just with another singer for fun, and then we liked it, and Jeke heard it. She said, like, I want to try it, and so
as long as we be going if we weren't ourselves, if we wouldn't be able to go as Hooverphonic and continue with our strong identity.
Yeah, that was actually also one of the things we said to the Belgian national television. We only want to go if we can go as Hooverphonic. Yeah. We're not gonna adapt and do something special, you know, like we're just gonna go and go with a song that we strongly believe in, but that would be on a record. And we also made a record, you know, like in the beginning of May, our album's gonna be out. And The Wrong Place is just a song on that album, and it fits perfectly in the vibe of the album. So
the only important thing is that we do a good performance, so our public will not be disappointed on that level. And
and I admit authenticity is very, very important, and if you your style, I think that will be awarded or not. And I think
imagine us going to Eurovision and we would do like Hard Rock Hallelujah, you know, like, you know, it's that kind of style, you know. Then people would, and then we would wear masks and stuff like that. Then people would say like, what are they doing? But we're not doing that. We're making, like, you know, we just made another song. Like here in Belgium, a lot of people say like, oh, this is genuine, like vintage Hooverphonic, the way we like it. So, and as long as you do that, at the same time evolve, because you can't stand still, you need to evolve, you know, but at the same time stay true to yourself, then nothing can harm you, you know. I think that's the only thing we learned, you know, through all these years.
Do you have some personal experience with Eurovision Song Contest? Any favorites from Belgium? Maybe Sandra Kim or...
Oh, totally, yeah. We've been we both have a different history with it, but for me it was as a little girl. It was very important. I didn't grow into it afterwards, but as of my 6th or 7th year, I playbacked all the Belgian contestants in my garden.
That's cool.
It did lead me into music in some way, but
I always enjoyed it, you know. I always watched it with friends, you know, like pizza, beers, Eurovision contest, you know, and then like make our personal kind of poll, you know, like who will win. And so I always enjoyed it, you know, and it's and I still do, you know. I watched it my whole life, actually. I think in the 90s at some point I lost it a little, because then it became a bit too camp, I think, you know. Like I said, I like the combination of things, you know, of different flavors. And then at some point it became just a bit too much one flavor. But then luckily that changed really fast again. And, you know, like look at Last Edition with Duncan Lawrence in it and stuff like that. It was really, you know, like Slovenia was really good then as well. You know, like I really enjoy it. And it's also, you know, like I'm a songwriter, and it's just like, it's the Eurovision Song Contest. It's a songwriters competition. It's one of the few competitions in the world. So as a songwriter, of course I love it.
Yeah, and sometimes Belgian entries really shape up very well. I remember Blanche, number 4, like Knotted, number 4, Tom Dice, number 6. So it can happen if you have a good song, if you're authentic, it will shape up very well. So they, even if you have a more sophisticated song, or it doesn't mean that people don't award it, you know. But
you know,
not a smash hit, but people like his attitude and the beautifulness of the presentation. So
look at Salvador Sobral, you know, like that was completely like
he was himself.
Yeah, it was just, but it was beautiful. I heard it, you know, I was watching it and I said like, he's gonna win, you know, like it's so lately, you know, like a lot of contestants that win or are like, you know, 2nd or 3rd are quite good, you know, like I liked Netta, you know, from Israel, you know, with her chicken song, and it was fun, you know, but that is also good, you know, there was entertainment. And then I liked Duncan with his song. I liked Salvador, you know, like with his song. I liked the Czech Republic most of the time have good songs.
They improved.
Although last year's song was better than this year, I think. Same guy, but I think, you know, just like you said, our song was more sophisticated last year. I think, you know, like, but still, you know, It's that's a cool thing, you know. That's also why I think it was important to change the songs for every country, because part of the part of the fun of the festival is that people kind of learn to know all these songs, you know, bit by bit they get released, and then, you know, like people make their reviews, and it's like exploring these new songs and opinions. That's part of the fun of the festival.
Okay, guys, it was really lovely to talk to you. Impression, and I believe if you stay like you are, I think people will award it, and we really hope the best for you. And
thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Good luck, and I hope that you can enjoy Rotterdam and the Eurovision atmosphere. It's really special normally.
Dankeschön.
Gerne. Dank die vriendelijks voor die aandacht. Tschüss.